Hopefully everybody can hear everybody. I want to start by thanking Lane Desborough. If you don't know Lane, you don't know one of the smartest people in this room. He's also the most humble, so he will not admit that. But the original clarion call back in a classroom in Stanford University was Lane saying the following: we want our children to be safe and happy, and we know how to do it. We are not waiting. We can, we should, we will. And then Howard looks at hashtag we're not waiting. And that's how that came to be. Oh, let's see if we can. There we go. 10 years ago, we were a few blocks from here, and Mark Wilson said, we don't modify things just to modify things. This isn't we want to have the coolest GT Mustang on the block. It's not that we want to take what's available and show off this, that, or the other. This all goes back to Lane. This all goes back to quality of life. We're doing this because it's not about the car, it's about the drive. So this, I'm going to go quick through the next few slides because it's ancient history. Now, the entire community is supported with small donations, $10 bumper stickers, $20 shirts. That's how this has been going for the last 10 years. And that money goes to support development and education. And people come in and they will give their all. But because there's not a larger support system that has a bigger infrastructure, people can get burnt out because it's T1D. And they have families and they have day jobs and life happens. But because of the sadness of T1D, more people keep getting diagnosed, so we do get new developers coming through. If it wasn't for the developers, starting with Lane and Ross Naylor and John Kostick, staying up till 2 o'clock in the morning before the first D-Data to make sure that symposium on Nightscout was going to work, we wouldn't have what we have today. These are the reasons the Nightscout Foundation exists, because we learned pretty quick Microsoft couldn't give us free processing time, couldn't donate anything to 7 people on the internet. We had to have a legal, and so James Wedding, the president of the Nightscout Foundation, started the foundation. Now, this, for the last 10 years, has been what we're doing. If that one medical company sends a cease and desist letter to a developer in France, we hire the lawyer that goes in and works that out. And one of the things that we have to remember is we are not in competition with anyone in industry. We love industry. You are our bedrock. One of the things that our family does is we use all the systems. We use all the DIY systems. We use all the off-the-shelf systems. And one of the things we noticed, because we support the DIY community, we were much more knowledgeable about our T1D, and we were able to make the standard off-the-shelf systems perform better. And we want everyone to have that opportunity, whether you're at one side of the spectrum or the other with the medical devices. We did it all for the children. All of these kids you're looking at right now, yeah, they're done with university and they're now, some of them are in the medical community. We go out and we train people, advocacy. There's no stopping the amount of development. When Share first came out in 2015, many people said, well, what are you going to do now? Share's doing what Nightscout's doing. Well, within just months, it exploded into many new things. That is happening today. The majority of the open source automated insulin delivery systems come because everyone keeps building on the shoulders of the giants in the We Are Not Waiting community. And it's community funded, but we can only get so far. We have an annual budget of about $50,000, and that's the ceiling. But how do you keep developers from burning out? How do you reach all these people in 38 countries with over 250,000 users? How do we reach even more? Look at that world. There's a lot of empty spots. You're seeing too much privilege here and not enough outreach. We need infrastructure to do that. After COVID, everybody was kind of knocked off their feet a little, but we got two new rogue cowboys, a slur that was given to us by a president of a company that we love. And he called us rogue cowboys, but we call ourselves proof of concept. Built by patients and parents because we are the ones who live with the consequences. If I had been the one with T1D, I would have put Band-Aids and bubble gum to get that first OSAID system on me. But because I had a small child, I spent 18 months quizzing till 2 in the morning, many of our developers. And so I would like to announce Tim Gunn and Teresa Hastings. These are energetic. We are not waiting community support people. Tim with development and Teresa with making all things happen. Let's see if I went back. So we are now looking at the future. What are we going to do? Well, going from the $50,000 ceiling, we want to put in the pilings. We want to get the steel beams and the girders, and we want to build the establishment that will support not only the developers you're going to hear, who it doesn't matter what got in their way. They spent their money, blood, and treasure on making sure there was a solution because they knew it existed. They knew they could do it. And so for the next 10 years, we're not able to talk about the specifics, but we're able to say that we're going to be putting into place centralized developer support. And one of the things that Lane is doing, here he was the initial seed making this whole thing possible. And now what he's working on around the clock is going to benefit what we're working on around the clock. We have many solutions. Every time something comes out from industry, we don't have to look for a profit motive and a solution. We only have to look for a solution. And that's where, as a businessman, I look at that and I understand why everything is what it is, because you have to pay the bills. But the blessing of the We Are Not Waiting community is that we don't have to wait for a profit motive. So accelerating by reducing the friction, having developers that may not have as much energy to give, but have a lot of energy to give by documentation on all of the processes so that they can come in and pick up and do a piece of the pie. Lane started Nightscout with John Kostick in a driveway in August 13, 2013. And now Reese, who will be coming up next, has a complete rebuild of that. It is beyond amazing. And we continue to educate. And my watch is telling me I am out of time. But the whole reason is we are not waiting. We've said that for decades, and it's true. Every single one of you in here that has someone affected by T1D, whether it's yourself, a loved one, or it's in your field of endeavor, we are here to support the good efforts that everyone collectively does. Thank you.